Hey guys, Spider here, and I wanted to recap for you guys all the zombies goodness from E3. I know I don't give you guys enough news and information on zombies over here on NGT Zombies, so I'm gonna want to try and remedy that. Yes, we have some Dead Nation playing in the background actually. Do you guys want to see Hyper and I do some co-op on this? It is two-player co-op. It's actually a pretty decent game. It's on PSN. I think it's a PSN exclusive, but pretty cool game, overhead zombie shooter. So I'll let you watch that while I'm discussing some of this. So the first off is Last of Us. I know I posted a video yesterday. That's one big title that we're looking forward to here on NGT Zombies, but won't be released until 2013. So we got to have some things that are going to fill in the gap. I know we mentioned some things the other day, bunch of games that are upcoming, but some of these were actually covered at E3 in a larger way. And we're going to start off with Resident Evil 6 is a big one. And there were a couple of things that actually just recently came out regarding Resident Evil 6. One is that there are actually going to be sort of three separate storylines. And those storylines are basically pairs of characters. So you can imagine there's going to be heavily geared towards co-op, although you can also play it single player. So there are three main characters, I guess, but Leon and Chris being the two main, and then Jake being the third, and their counterparts. So going through the campaign, you're playing as Leon and Helena, Chris and Piers, or Jake and Sherry, and you can actually go through and play them all separately to get the full storyline, because they're each going to have their own separate identities, so to speak. I mean, obviously, there's going to be a lot of overlap, but there's going to be a lot of storytelling, from what I understand, involved with that. So that's pretty cool, and it was funny. They're commenting that the producer Kobayashi, his idea to bring back Leon for Resident Evil 6, because there wasn't he states there wouldn't be a Resident Evil 6 without Leon, because he's central to the story. So that's pretty cool. And each story path, he estimates, has roughly 70 to 80% of the volume in Resident Evil 5. So you're playing as Leon and Helena only, then the volume of the story would be about 70 to 80% of what you had in Resident Evil 5, but then playing as the other characters is what adds the replayability to the game. So, and hopefully they've brought it back to more towards the survival horror roots, but obviously, you know, I don't know if they're coming back so much on that. They're probably going to incorporate elements of it, but it's going to be an action game as well, so it's going to be probably more geared towards action. It may be a bit of a cross between Resident Evil 5 and hopefully they get back to a little bit more survival horror, but you know, they think they got the balance right. And there was a special edition actually revealed for Resident Evil 6 for the PlayStation 3 version, and it's entitled Anthology. So, and supposedly this is going to be available through Amazon at least, and on release. So on release, you can buy Resident Evil 6 with Resident Evil Director's Cut, Resident Evil 2, 3, 4 HD, and 5 Gold Edition, which includes all of Resident Evil 5's DLC for $90, they're saying. So instead of the $60, you pay an extra $30, and you get all that additional content with the game. So, and then they described Resident Evil 6 takes place in both the US and China 10 years after the events of Resident Evil 2. Chris Redfield and Leon Kennedy are the game's lead protagonists, as we mentioned, also with Jake. And the story revolves around America's president going public, I guess, about the Raccoon City incident with while a bioterrorism attack has occurred as well. So we'll have to see what happens. And they say actually that over 600 developers, well, I guess, yeah, I'm thinking development companies, but actually people that are working on the project. So there are actually over 600 people working on this game, and it's been touted as Capcom's biggest project ever, so it should be interesting. Yeah, we'll look forward to it. Alright, next up is a really interesting title, and man, it almost makes me want to go buy a freaking Wii U. But ZombiU, this was Ubisoft came up during Nintendo's presentation at E3 and went through and did a demo on this game called ZombiU. and it is a Wii U exclusive, and it looks pretty interesting. Obviously, the plot is similar to most other zombie games. I mean, there's a zombie outbreak. You got to survive. You got to complete objectives. You have to kill zombies, whatever. But they make use and it was the most interesting use, in my opinion, of the actual gamepad from the Wii U, which was interesting. So you're going up to this locked door. You actually have to type in on the gamepad the combination. You see the players struggling with it, and it. I don't know. It looked really cool. I mean, it's a zombie game, man. I don't know. Is it going to be enough to make me buy a Wii U? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. One of the interesting things about it is that it's actually way more difficult than your typical zombie games. If you get bitten once, you're dead. That's it. But the twist is that you become infected, you become a zombie, and then you respawn as somebody else. The really interesting thing is that zombie that used to be you has your backpack with all your equipment in it. So you respawn as this other dude. You got to go track down your stuff. If you want all your stuff that you had in your backpack, you got to go find that zombie and kill him. So you're killing you to get your stuff back. Isn't that cool? I don't know. I don't know, man. I got to see more. I got to see a little bit more of this, but I mean, is it enough for me to go out and buy a Wii U just for this game? Hyper says it is for him. I don't know, man. I don't know. But it does look pretty interesting. I mean, nothing else that Nintendo brought forward really had much of interest for me. I mean, it is a lot of obviously games geared towards a younger generation. But the addition of this, I mean, this was really the only game I saw. I mean, other than Batman, but Batman's teen rated. This would presumably be like an M-rated title on a Wii U. Isn't that interesting? That is interesting. I'm gonna have to see where this goes, but it's one game that I'm gonna keep my eye out on. Let's put it that way. I'm gonna keep my eye on this one. All right. All right, last one I want to discuss, and again, I'm not covering everything I did in that video I did the other day because we're still bringing that content. And this coming Tuesday on the 12th, Lollipop Chainsaw. It's going to be interesting. But one announcement that came up that was kind of interesting as well. They didn't show a demo. They didn't show anything. It was just like, yeah, this is going to come out. We're going to provide more details in the summer, and that's it. Dead Island Riptide. Now, I know we did some Dead Island gameplay on the channel, NGT Zombies, but I don't really think that the guys that I was doing the co-op with, Mead and Bentley, were really into the game. They were definitely not into the game, and I don't know if that impacted me. Like, I mean, it's a zombies game. I thought it was pretty decent, but anyways, it just didn't go anywhere. I mean, we posted a bunch of videos, and then it just kind of stopped. And I think there was a ranking up problem that we were having as well, where one of us wasn't ranking up, and while everybody else was, and that was kind of a problem. But anyways, Dead Island Riptide, hopefully when that comes out, who knows when it's going to come out, 2013. I mean, we'll take a closer look at it, and maybe that's something we can bring to the channel, considering we did post some Dead Island. I think a lot of you guys did enjoy watching that stuff, and it's a shame we didn't continue with that. But, hey, we got a new title that's going to be coming out, and it should be interesting. So that's from Techland, and it's a sequel to the original Dead Island. And it was announced at E3 by publisher Deep Silver for PC and consoles. And that's it. So hopefully they'll come out with more information later this summer. Anyways, we're still going to bring all the other content that we discussed the other day to you guys, but I wanted to specifically go over a few of the things that came out during E3. And actually, I should talk a little bit about Black Ops 2 Zombies, because there was a behind-the-scenes video that was published to Call of Duty's YouTube channel, and they did talk a little bit about the zombie level or the zombie map being bigger than anything they've done before. I'm not sure if they're just talking about single map. I know they're going to have various levels, let's say. Maybe it's all part of one map. Who knows? But they did show a couple of images, not really in-game images. It was more on the design level. There's some, obviously I'm interested in what the hell they're going to do with Black Ops 2 Zombies. So every little bit of information they drop, it's like, yeah, oh yeah, I love it. Oh my God, I want more. Still waiting for the Black Ops 2 Zombies reveal trailer, when and if it ever comes. hopefully in the next couple months. I'm hoping. But anyways, we're obviously going to be all over that one. And I should have... Oh, my God. I'm going to commit to it. That's it. I'm going to commit to it. By this Saturday, I will have the first video about the zombie storyline for you guys, okay? The zombie story. I know. I apologize. I will get it for you guys. By the end of the weekend, you guys will see a video regarding the zombie story. And I'm not just going to cover the in-game storyline. I'm going to also cover the evolution of zombies with Call of Duty. Okay, so there is going to be some things that I'm going to talk about with respect to Treyarch, with respect to the actual development of that sub-game, let's call it, within the Call of Duty franchise, within Treyarch's take on it, with World at War, Black Ops, and Black Ops 2. So there's going to be a lot more background than just in-game storyline. It's going to be the story about the development of that stuff, about the development of the maps, about development of zombies in Call of Duty in general. So it'll be very, very interesting, I think, and it's going to take quite a while to get to the point where we are today and going into Black Ops 2. So, like I said, I'm freaking putting myself on notice. By the end of this weekend, by the end of the day on the 10th, you guys will have the first video in that series. Anyways, hope you are as excited as I am for all this content. And let me know if you want to see some Dead Nation. We can post some stuff up. Me and Hyper and Co-op. Yeah, baby. Anyways, I'm Spider, and I'm out.